No word yet on when negotiations will resume as the electrical union workers' strike carries into a second day.
About 1,300 union workers at Hawaiian Electric, Maui Electric, and Hawaiian Electric Light Company on the Big Island walked off the job at 3:30 yesterday afternoon. KITV has been following this developing story from the moment strike lines went up. And KITV4's Jill KURAMOTO joins us live this morning from the picket lines. Jill?
Well, Paul, I can tell you that the folks out here at the Ward facility have been braving the rain all night, and they've been actually very quiet sort of strike. No problems reported. They're following the rules, staying on the sidewalk. There's a slight delay for those who live in this building as far as getting into the driveway, but I can tell you that there are about 1,300 HECO workers who are members of the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers Union, and this type of scene is being replayed at HECO facilities all across the island and at power plants. And according to the union, the two sides are split on issues including retirement benefits, sick leave, and when a new contract should take effect. Now, the union decided to strike because during a negotiating session Friday afternoon, HECO managers said that they had to run the latest proposals past the company president, and they said they wanted to break for the weekend, something that the union has called a stalling tactic. Now, the head of the Electrical Workers Union spoke exclusively with KITV and said that he knows the public is upset that workers walked off the job when at least thousands of residents are out of power, but the company pushed them to this point. Now, meanwhile, the vice president of HECO denies any kind of game playing and says they've been bargaining in good faith. Now, joining us this morning, we have Honolulu Mayor Peter Carlisle with us. And Peter, I know that you just spoke with the director of the Deputy Director of the Department of Emergency Management Services, and you kind of have an update as far as what's happening.
I mean, there's some good news. One on the waterfront, the weather front. It appears that the flash flood warning has been canceled. We're looking to drier weather this afternoon, so that should help some of the situation out there. HECO has restored at 4:30 all of Ewa and Waipahu, which was good news, which was the 7,800 people, but then they lost 200 back at 7 o'clock this morning, and now they're working to try and get that back. So some people had power from 4:30 to 7 o'clock, but not after that. They are working on the 14 poles on Fort Weaver. They're trying to keep one lane open and only have one lane closed and the rest open. The Department of Transportation Services is assessing the light situation as you're going from Mauka to Makai. Ava, Renton, Kolovaki, and Geiger are all without lights, but HPD is on the scene. There were a couple of reported medical instances, but they were handled by emergency medical services from the Department of from the City and County of Honolulu, and so that has also been taken care of. So apparently right now we're pretty satisfied that everybody has had what they need. What they're asking you from HECO is that essentially, please be patient. The crews have been working all night. Some of them need some sleep. I know that we know that there are places that we haven't gotten to yet. They're working very hard to do that, and their crews are stretched a little thin, but they're doing everything they can to restore power to everybody as soon as possible. And if you've been without power for a day and a half, or 2 days, we know how inconvenient that is. So thank you for your patience so far, and everybody's working hard and diligently to try and get you the power that you need and deserve.
Now, I know that at least one city council member and some state lawmakers are asking for the governor to declare a state of emergency to try and get this negotiations over with, and then they're asking for your help in assisting towards that. What kind of role could you actually play in all this?
In terms of the labor, that's a separate issue than getting people taken care of in terms of their safety. That's our number one issue. And in terms of declaring states of emergency, or somebody telling us to call Obama, or this kind of stuff. I mean, we have professionals at emergency services and management. And what we need to make absolutely certain of is that we follow those professionals' advice and not the hysteria of the moment. So, frankly, they've been doing a fantastic job. Things have been restored slowly but surely. And so I have very little. It's not a really good idea to bring out the National Guard, call Obama, declare a state of emergency when you don't know all the facts. And if you know all the facts right now, you realize that the emergency managers are there to do their job, and they do it very well. So I listen to the experts, not to sort of the concerns of the moment. The other thing that's important to understand in terms of the negotiations, I really don't have much to do with that, but if asked, if they want me to get in the middle and talk to people on either side, of course I'd be willing to do that.
Okay. Mayor Carlisle, thanks for giving us the update this morning.
My
Appreciate
pleasure.
your time.
Aloha.
All right. So now, again, no word yet on if negotiations, when or if negotiations will resume, especially today. Hawaiian Electric is using replacement workers to work on those power outages that Mayor Carlisle did update us on, and they're affecting many people all around the island, not just Ewa and in Waipahu. So, Jody, back to you. Paul, back to you.
All right, thanks a lot, Jill. And we should say that there are just pockets now of power outages around the island.